How you doing? My name is Lauren Hazel. I'm the story brand strategist. I'm a copywriter and marketing consultant. And if you're here, it is because you have expressed the fear of emailing your list. And since I love email for many reasons, I am going to help you out here. Because the truth of the matter is, if you have an online business, especially if your business is primarily or completely online, your list is one of your biggest assets in your business. So if you don't email them, it's going to make your life a lot harder, and you're going to spend a lot more marketing dollars than if you actually start to email and engage with your list. But look, I understand, emailing your list, not knowing how they're going to react to your emails is it can be a little frightening, especially if you've ever been hit with one of those hate emails. I sure have, and it's never a fun thing to happen to you. Or maybe you've seen some of the horror stories of your fellow entrepreneurs online getting hate mail from their list because oh my God, they emailed them and asked them to buy something. So if that is one of the reasons why you hate emailing your list, don't worry, because I'm going to help you, fix your mind a little bit about emailing your list. Because once again, your list is your most powerful asset you have in your business. So you need to do a few things to make sure it remains a powerful asset. But hold on a second. Let's back up a bit. You know what? I'm going to read you some things that some people have said about emailing their list. And maybe this sounds a little bit like you. And one said, I have 3,000 subscribers, but but I want to crawl under my desk every time I need to write emails. What do I do? I struggle with confidence that people who know me will never think that of me, but emailing my list, I rather go parasailing. Wow. Now, I am not a person who's into roller coasters, but that's pretty extreme. You rather go parasailing than write an email to your list? Wow. But we got another one. I got another one for you. I freaking hate emailing my list. I feel like I'm bugging them. How do I get over this mindset trap? I've heard that many times before, even with some folks that I've personally worked one-on-one with. They do some really cool things with their business. They started building a list, and that they had a buyer's list, people who already bought from them, and they are scared to death to email them about anything. And this is a problem because now this individual is relying heavily on advertising and is relying heavily on word of mouth in order to get sales and repeat buyers. Instead of actually looking at their list that they're already buyers, they obviously like what you do, they bought from you, you could offer them something else or the same thing again, depending on what it is, right? But they are too afraid to email their list. They think they're going to annoy them. There's this intensive fear about emailing a list. Now, look, I don't like spiders, but I would not say that I hate emailing, because I love emailing, that I would turn around and hold a spider in my hand. I rather write 10,000 emails than hold a spider. But some of you are in a position where you rather hold the spider, cuddle with the spider, eat the spider, than actually sit down and write an email to your list. So, like I said, I'm going to help you with a little something. And it's really a mindset thing. Now, look, I'm a copywriter. I've been doing this for about 9 years or so. And it is a mindset thing. Writing sales copy, part of it is a head game. Even the most experienced copywriters out there have this head game they have to get through in order to write sales copy. So I completely understand where you're coming from. And it's not an easy thing. Even professional copywriters go through it. So I'm going to help you with your little issue here. Think about it this way. If your list was created based on the fact that people bought something from you already, like let's say you had an Etsy store or something, and it's collecting the emails, you have a list of people who are buyers. These people have already put money down on you. They already bought something from you. So most likely, if you say, hey, my name is, I don't know, Cheryl, and I just want to thank you for making the purchase from my store. I hope you enjoyed it. Look, I have a few new things in the cart. If you'd like to check them out, here's the link. That's a very easy sales email that I just verbatim came up with off the spot. But think about it. Did that seem so hard? Now, look, I'm a professional, so I know you probably wasn't thinking that way. But think about it this way. If you were to frame your email like that, like you're coming in as a friend, you're not coming there to annoy them. You're not coming there to necessarily scare them. You're coming as a friend. You're like, hey, look, thanks for buying something from me. Look, I got a couple of new things. If you like this, you might like that. Here's the link. See? Easy. You're coming in as a friend. Think about it this way. Especially if it's a buyer's list, right? These people already have put some trust in you. They liked you enough or what you sold enough to take a chance on you. So why not just send them another email and just say, hey, thank you. I appreciate you. And I have XYZ. They do X and B and C and D, and here's the link to check it out. I have a special promo or whatever. Seamless. Because you're coming in as a friend. You're not trying to hurt anybody. You're not trying to offend anybody. You're just coming in as a simple friend, offering them something else. It's the same thing that happens in a restaurant, right? When you go through a restaurant, you know, they seat you first. They give you some water. They might lay some bread and butter on the table. They ask you if you want something special to drink. And they start taking your order, your appetizers. You tell them, they run back, they get you your appetizers while the rest of your main dish is cooking. And then what do? They try to sell you on dessert. They try to sell you on coffee or tea or maybe another beer or soda. And so they're already upselling you each and every time. Now, if the restaurant was, they were afraid to sell you again, I mean, you came into the door, they sat you down, you already ordered food. If they were afraid to ask you if you wanted some dessert, then the restaurant wouldn't make as much money. If they were afraid to ask you if you wanted another beer, the restaurant wouldn't make as much money. As a matter of fact, you might even be offended by the fact that they didn't actually ask you if you wanted something else. Have you ever been to a restaurant where you have a waiter and you're used to this process and they don't do that process exactly? Like they don't ask you what you want to drink, or if you want another drink, they don't ask you if you want something else to eat. Don't you rate them lower in your customer service? I've seen that happen many times. I've gone to dinners with my mother out, and when we happen to get a waiter who doesn't ask us in that way, like, hey, would you like another drink? Would you like a beer? Would you like coffee? Would you like tea? Would you like this? Oh, this is good. You could have that with that. It tastes really good. If that process doesn't happen, she thinks she's had a bad experience. So think of it this way, especially if you have a buyer's list. If you are not offering your list of people who've already bought from you something else, you're kind of giving them a bad experience with you. Because all the other retailers out there, everybody else who sells to them, who are sophisticated, the big guys out there, the big Amazons, always ask, hey, if you like this, we thought you liked that. They're always trying to offer them something else. And it becomes part of an buying experience that we're all used to. So why would you act any differently? You're actually treating your customers worse, not any better, by not emailing them, by not offering something else. Now, let's take it a step further. What happens if the thing you're offering is a life-changing or saving product? Let's say you're offering a supplement, right? So I'll give you an example myself. So there's certain supplements that I started taking because I wanted to, be healthier, lose a little weight, and do things like that. So I was trying to get into this world that I wasn't really familiar with. And I found a supplement that actually seems to be working okay with me. You know, I feel a little better in my joints and everything else. So I started taking this supplement. And I ran out, I think it was like 30 pills or so. I ran out of pills. And I ordered this supplement online from somebody. And they didn't offer to refill. I actually had to remember what the bottle was and remember who I got it from, the particular company, and try to find them to get the supplement pills again. And that became a really big hassle for me, right? Because already I'm very confused by the supplement thing. I just knew that I took a chance on this, and I bought these pills, and I was taking them for 30 days, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I think I'm feeling the difference. I like this. And instead of them emailing me and say, hey, you're at the 15th day mark. If you're taking your supplements already, you'll probably be soon due for refill. Here's the link to have an automatic refill. If they had done that, that would have saved me a lot of time. Not only would it save me a lot of time, I probably would have continued buying supplements from them. But you know what I did? I found an equivalent supplement with another company. And guess what? They do offer to do that for me. So think about it this way. You unintentionally have created a negative buying environment because you didn't offer your list something else. Especially since we've all been trained that if we buy one thing from a company, that company is going to come to us with an email or a call or something with another offer. Now, you might be afraid of how you pitch that offer, which is fine, but not even thinking of giving that offer is creating a negative buying experience. It's making you forgettable to the email list that you worked so hard to acquire. Now, that's for the buyers. Now, of course, if you don't have a buying list, meaning you have a list you gathered, but you haven't sold anything to this list, the same advice applies, but I'm going to give you a little bit more specifics. If you have a list that maybe you gathered online from a free lead magnet, maybe you gave away a free strategy session, maybe you gave away a checklist or an ebook or a video, much like what's happening here. I'm giving you a video in exchange for your email address. What do you do to get over your fear of emailing? Well, think about it this way. You want to build a list, but you don't want to email that list. You're spending time creating a lead magnet or possibly giving away something, a piece of your training for free or your time for free to get people's email addresses, but you don't want to email them. That seems a little crazy to me. That's like insanity to me. Maybe you're even paying for Facebook ads to get traffic to your lead magnet, and you don't want to send them an email? Come on now. Come on. Does that really make sense? If you are too afraid to email your list, there's no point in creating lead magnets. There's no point in buying courses about email, no point about buying courses about list building, because you have no intention to email your list because you're paralyzed with fear. And that's not helping you, your business, or the people who trusted you enough to opt into your list. Because when people opt into your list, it's because they have a problem and they feel that you can help them solve that problem. For example, you opted into this because you felt I can help you get over your fear of emailing your list, right? So you have a trusted me. And through this video and also through the emails I will be sending to you, I hope to continue to develop that trust and offer you things that will help you. But what if you just opted in and got this video and you wanted more? You wanted more specifics from me, right? Because I can't do this video for 30 minutes. If I don't send an email saying, hey, look, this is a continuation, here it is, you're not going to be able to completely get over your fear. And you won't be able to find maybe the real root cause of that fear. Because I can tell you, people who are usually afraid of emailing their list, regardless if it's a buyer list or not, it tends to be because they possibly fit into one of three categories when it comes to writing emails for people who are not copywriters. And over my 6 years of actually teaching other marketers and copywriters how to write story selling emails, which I'm very much known for, I discovered that these three categories are relatively universal for folks who are writing emails and are not good at writing emails, and they have this fear. Because the excuses I hear is that I'm too afraid to email my list, and two, I don't have time. So either you're too afraid or you don't have time. Those are the universal fears of email writing. But it turns out, when I did some more digging, that there were three categories that people tend to fall into. The first category is these folks have no idea what to write about their list about. And because they don't have any idea, they become paralyzed with fear because they don't want to write about the wrong thing and get a nasty email and have people unsubscribe, and they think their whole world will fall apart. You got the second category of people. These folks have way too many ideas. And their problem is they don't know which one to pick. They don't know how to pick the most profitable idea. They don't know which idea that if they were to write about is more likely to get their list to actually take up their offer. And so they suffer through analysis paralysis because they might have 16 different ideas, but it's going to take them like 4 or 5 hours to figure out, to narrow down to even 5 ideas to even write about. And so they'll say, oh, I don't have time, because they know, because they are that type of person, it will take them hours before they even pick one idea, if they're lucky enough, to even write about. So they usually say, I don't have time. And then there's a third category person. There is the third person. These individuals are interesting to me. They are very knowledgeable about their topic. They are very passionate. They tend to be very passionate about their topic sometimes. And it doesn't matter if they're analytical or more creative. They suffer from this issue. And the issue they suffer from is basically they don't know how to actually write a story in their email to teach the lesson that they're trying to teach and then bridge to the offer. Or they don't know how to structure the email in general. Like, how do I say too much of this? Do I say more of that? When do I present the offer? How many links do I put in the email? Sort of thing. They don't know how to get their point across, how to get their lesson they're trying to teach across, and then bridge into an offer. And they're trying to do it in a way that doesn't seem scammy or salesy. So sometimes they'll write an email and the email will be really bad, and then they'll get really bad feedback from their audience because the email just comes off really, really wrong. Or they write a very long email, but it has no offer or no point. Some of them go into heavy story mode, and that's all you get. And they start rambling, and it turns off their email list. And so therefore they hate emails. So maybe you fit into one of those categories when you think about it. Because if you look further beyond the fear of hating writing to your email list, you'll discover that you're probably fitting into one of those three categories. Now, the good thing is I have taken time to really study those categories and create special trainings for those categories. And because you're on my email list, what you're going to get from me very soon is a special assessment. And this is assessment, it'll take only about 3 minutes for you to complete. It will identify specifically what is your particular main problem. And once you complete that assessment, you'll automatically get your specialized training from me based on the problem you're actually having writing emails. And once you really narrow it down to the problem you're actually having, you are going to be able to write emails and not be afraid of actually writing emails to your list anymore. Because fear is a byproduct of something else. It's never the main reason. So it's not only that you're afraid of your list, there's something else going on. And I'm here to tell you that I'm willing to work it out with you. Now, I appreciate you downloading and deciding to give me your email address, and I look forward to helping you getting over this fear and monetizing your list so you can really concentrate on the things you really love to do. My name is Lauren. I am the Story Brand Strategist, and if you couldn't see, I am a Star Wars fan, the Rebels, Rogue One. I'll see you side. Bye.